Today, we're not actually here to review this printer. Nope. We're here to learn a skill, a really important one: how to read any product page and find the real story hiding between the marketing hype and the customer reviews. And we're going to do that by dissecting the page for the HP SmartTank 5101. All right, let's just start with this. On their product page, HP makes this incredible, bold claim. This is the last printer you'll ever need. I mean, wow. That's not just marketing talk. That's a promise to end all of your printing frustrations forever. But, can they actually back that up? Let's find out. You see, every product page tells a story. It paints this picture of a perfect world where their product solves all your problems. So our first step is to figure out what that perfect world looks like, according to HP. What exactly are they promising with this perfect printer? And just look at this list. Ink for years, built to last, mess-free. It's like they made a list of every single thing we've ever hated about printers and just solved them. They aren't just selling features here. They're selling the end of printer headaches. So when you put it all together, the story here isn't just about a machine that puts ink on paper. It's about buying confidence. It's about reliability and getting peace of mind. It's the promise that this is the final solution. Okay, that's a great story. A really compelling one. But now it's time for a reality check. We need to peel back that shiny marketing layer and look at the cold, hard data, the technical specifications. And here they are, the objective facts. Thermal inkjet, wireless connectivity, 12 pages per minute in black. This is what the printer is. But wait a minute. Look at that very last line. Dual-sided printing? It's manual. That means you have to physically take the paper out and flip it over yourself. Now, it's a small detail for sure, but it's the very first little crack in that perfect hassle-free promise we just heard about. So the specs tell us what the machine can do, but they don't tell us how it does it. How does this thing actually behave in a real person's home or office? To find that out, we have to turn to the most valuable, most honest source of info on any product page, the customer reviews. And this is where the story gets fascinating. Out of more than 4,600 ratings, just look at this breakdown. This isn't some gentle bell curve. It's completely polarized. You have a massive 59% of people who gave it a perfect 5-star score. But then a full 20%, that's 1 in every 5 customers, gave it the absolute worst score possible. So what is going on here? Well, let's dig in. On one side, you've got HP's promise. Print with confidence. But on the other, you have the reality from customers. Mixed experiences, with some people saying it only prints occasionally. Those two stories don't quite line up, do they? And that gap gets even wider when we look at connectivity. HP sells it as smart and connected. But the user reality, words like significant connectivity issues, frequent disconnections, and just plain inability to connect to Wi-Fi. For a wireless printer, that is a really big deal. And what about that whole set it up once promise? Well, it's the same story again. The reality is totally divided. You've got some people in the reviews saying the setup was very easy, while the whole other group found it difficult. That effortless, perfect experience the marketing promised, it's clearly not getting delivered to everyone. And if you want to see that connectivity issue in hard numbers, here it is. For every one person who took the time to say something positive about the connectivity, nearly 3 people mentioned it negatively. For a core feature of a wireless printer, that is a huge red flag. Numbers tell us the what, but they don't always tell us the why. Behind every one of these statistics is a real person with a real story. So let's hear from someone in that happy 59% first. This is from LEM, who gave it 5 stars. For her, the experience was exactly what HP advertised. The setup was easy, the Wi-Fi was seamless, she loved printing from her phone. For LEM, the printer delivered on every single promise, and she's thrilled. But then you hear from Molly Maverick. Her 1-star review describes the exact same product as a nightmare in a box, a useless paperweight. She went through driver installation hell and had 0 wireless connectivity. For Molly, literally none of the promises came true. It was a complete and total failure. So what have we learned from this tale of 2 totally different printers? We've seen the perfect promise, we've looked at the objective specs, and we've uncovered this deeply polarized customer reality. Now let's put it all together into a practical tool you can use every single time you shop online. Here it is, the 4-step read. It's simple. First, You isolate the promise. What's the perfect story they're selling? Second, you verify the specs. Do the facts actually support that story? Third, and this is the most important part, you find the patterns. Look for the things that keep coming up over and over again in the one-star reviews. And finally, you decide your deal breakers. If the number one complaint is about something you absolutely cannot live with, well, you've just found your answer. So the next time you land on a product page, remember this process. Don't just read the marketing copy. Instead, ask yourself, when you combine the promises, the specs, and the voices of real customers, what story is this product page really telling you?